Thank you, Bernie, and welcome everybody. Thank you. I want to thank in advance our stenographer, who has one of the hardest jobs here. And I'm going to ask everybody who does testify to make sure you give us your name, spell your last name, and speak slowly enough so she can take all these proceedings down. Thank you also to our signer tonight. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to be with you here tonight for this very important hearing that we are holding in conjunction with the Department of Public Health. I want to thank Commissioner John Auerbach and the DPH staff who are here with us this evening, including Bernard Plotnick, for their cooperation in making this joint hearing available. Tonight, our office is here together with the department to hear from the public regarding a potential transaction by which Caritas Christi proposes to transfer its assets and operations to Stewart Healthcare System, an affiliate of Cerberus Capital Management. The assets under discussion this evening are held in trust for your benefit, the benefit of the public, and we want your views, your opinions, your concerns, and your questions. Caritas Christi holds all of its assets, including Caritas St. Elizabeth's Medical Center, in trust for the benefit of all of us here in Massachusetts. That is, in sum and substance, what it means to be a public charity under Massachusetts law. It is established law in Massachusetts that the transfer of essentially all assets of any public charity, including a hospital, to a for-profit organization requires court approval. It's long been the responsibility of the Attorney General's office to protect the public's interest in such transactions and to provide our views to the court when it considers this matter. It's not the first time our office has been involved in reviewing a transaction involving the sale of a charitable hospital to a for-profit owner-operator. Prior to 2000, when such reviews were conducted under common law, this office was involved in the sale of St. Vincent Hospital in Worcester and Metro West Medical Center in Framingham and Needham. In 2002, under the provisions of Chapter 180, Section 8A-D, the law now in effect, this office reviewed the sale of what was then the Beth Israel Deaconess Shoba Medical Center in Ayer to a for-profit owner-operator. We have before us this proposed transaction, and as we have done in the past, we will review this one with a mind toward the following questions. First, is it impossible or impractical for Caritas to continue as a public charity? Organizations such as Caritas cannot simply sell to a for-profit because it could operate better or more effectively with private equity. A strong case must be made that continuing in its current form is likely to be unsuccessful. Second, did the organization carefully, thoughtfully, and deliberately explore and evaluate available options? Did it exercise care in selecting the option proposed? These are charitable assets, and their sale must have been considered and approved in a deliberative manner. Third, did the organization appropriately and effectively manage any conflict of interest? As our office has repeatedly stated, conflicts of interest are not necessarily bad, but they must be disclosed and appropriately handled to assure that individual interests do not take priority over those of the institution and the public that it serves. Fourth, is the compensation to be paid taken as a whole fair and reasonable? Or, stated slightly differently, does it reasonably represent fair market value? Again, these are charitable assets, and the public for whose benefit they are held is entitled to fair compensation if they are sold. Fifth, is the transaction in the public interest? While clearly implicit in the first four questions, ultimately the public's interest must be better served with the transaction than without it. We are therefore very interested in your views. We look forward to hearing your comments and questions tonight. Before we start, I'm just going to remind you 2 administrative items and 1 housekeeping item. All of your comments can be submitted by regular mail or electronically. Addresses and instructions are at the back of the auditorium, and we encourage you to do that. I also would note that we prefer, because we have a lot of folks who want to be heard here tonight, that you limit your remarks. We will certainly read everything that's submitted to you. We can read what you submit, and it would be helpful if you can summarize or give in brief the public argument you wish to give us this evening. Secondly, descriptions of the transaction, a copy of the asset purchase agreement, and a copy of the stewardship agreement with the Archdiocese of Boston can be found on our website, www.mass.gov/AGO. Instructions and the address are also available at the back of the table here this evening. So without further ado,